Hey guys, Jonathan Bales. I am going to be discussing ballpark factors today. I think factoring in the ballpark and how friendly it is to hitters is a really important part of your daily baseball strategy. The main reason that it's so vital is because park factors aren't necessarily a strong component of player salaries, so we can examine stats like weighted on base average or home runs that are really important, but for the most part, those are a component of a player's salary. So there's not necessarily a huge potential advantage to exploit in that area. Um, while the ballpark probably isn't factored into a guy's price, and so there is a pretty big advantage that we can gain by emphasizing it. I think few people consider the ballpark a guy is playing in and how it might affect his production in a given night. And certain stadiums are obviously just going to be more naturally hitter friendly than others, so we definitely want to adjust for that. RotoGrinders has a tool here in the daily research area. If you click here and go to the bottom left, we have ballpark factors. Um, I use this tool every day, and there's really four main areas that I'm looking at. The first is home runs here, and you can click on home runs and sort and see which parks are naturally going to be the most friendly for overall home runs. Um, and home runs are a low frequency stat, but they're really important and they're also consistent over time. So that's something we definitely want to take a look at. The second is hits, which is pretty obvious. And then numbers 3 and 4 are the left-handed batter and right-handed batter ratings over here. And you can go ahead and sort and see which parks are friendliest for lefties and righties. I think that ballpark factors in general are pretty underutilized, but controlling for the batter type is definitely something that not a lot of people do, but it can be really valuable. Certain parks are just set up better for lefties than righties or vice versa, so that's something smart that you should do to sort of tailor your lineups to account for that. Park factors, again, are important for all players, but there's really two specific types of players that I'm examining a lot when it comes to the park factors. The first is players who switch teams, and I think that's pretty obvious because we want to know how a change of scenery is going to help or hurt a player's numbers in a given year. The second type of player that I look at a lot in terms of park factors that maybe isn't as obvious is players on the road. Um, again, it's important for all hitters, but home ballpark factors are at least partially represented in a player's stats since he plays half of his games at home. Players who are on the road don't play many games in that stadium, so it's not reflected in their stats. And I think that makes ballpark factors a little bit more valuable for away batters than guys at home.